Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be doing a Destro Warlock PvP guide. This is something you guys asked me to do. So this is the build I've been really enjoying in Battleground Blitz, regular Battlegrounds, and War Mode, etc. And it's been hitting some pretty high Chaos Bolt numbers since the buffs, which is really nice because I feel like Chaos Bolts should actually do some decent damage again. So I've been really enjoying this build. This is my favorite build to play at the moment. And let's start off with the left side of the talent tree. So first up is Burning Rush and Fiendish Strides. Burning Rush will pretty much just help you as an extra mobility spell, as you do have some okay-ish mobility between having portals and the right places, as well as, like, for example, gateways. But if you don't have gateway up, for example, if you have the debuff still and you're trying to chase after somebody, for example, a flag carrier, or you are trying to get away, which you might not be able to always do because some classes have crazy mobility, then you can use Burning Rush to either try get away, or what you'll mostly probably use it for is to chase after somebody, and then you can just Curse of Exhaust in them, for example, on flag carriers and so on and so forth. But you do have to be careful, as it does drain your health. As you can see, I'm losing health rapidly. It would have been increasingly more if you use a Fiendish, if you don't use Fiendishing Stride. So be careful on how you use Burning Rush. So, but odds are most of the time you'll probably just use it after to chase somebody, like flag carriers most of the time. And yeah, Spell Armor, which will give you more absorb damage. Demon Skin increases your armor and passively recharges your maximum health 1 second, and now absorbs 10% maximum health. Demonic Circle, that way you can teleport. This is going to be 100% your ability. You're going to be used a lot. Make sure you use Demonic Ports in good areas that will help you out. For example, like terrain advantages. Since you're going to be mostly doing, like, since this is mostly about Battlegrounds and Battleground Blitz, you're going to be on, like, rooftops and so on and so forth. Like, for example, you jump down. Hold on, wait for my Demonic Port to come back up. And odds are people will probably either jump down to bait you. Like, for example, if somebody, like a Mistweaver, is holding the flag, and odds are they'll jump down, and then people will jump down after it. He baited you guys, then he teleports back up. You could have put a portal there. Boom, teleported back up to him, and destroy him after that, or he'll jump down, and because he was scared, and teammates will help finish him. Mortal Coil, you can use this for set focus macros, and for example, I put Havoc on the other guy because I set focus. You Mortal Coil, when you get a double Mortal Coil off, helps out really well against healers. Extremely useful. I would recommend Mortal Coil over Howl of Terror. I know some people use Howl of Terror, but I prefer Mortal Coil for that reason. It just helps out incredibly well on set focus macros. Curse of Enfeeblement grants access to the following: Curse of Exhaustion and Curse of Tongues, and then Demonic Embrace, extra stamina. By the way, if you really want to, you can replace Fiendish Strides and Burning Rush for Amplified Curse and Teachings, as if you use Curse of Weakness with this, it makes enemies unable to crit. And Curse of Tongues on a caster is also really nice. It's up to you if you wanted to use that over Burning Rush. Demonic Fortitude increases maximum health for pets and yourself. Wrathful Minion increases the damage of your primary pets and increases the damage of sacrifice. Sweet Souls heals your healthstone, heals for additional 10%, which is want to give me one of your big main defensives. Nightmare increases the amount of damage it takes to break your fear, although it still feels like it breaks instantly sometimes. Demonic Gateway, this is going to be one of your main getaway things, your main mobility things. Shadow's Fury, so you can help stun multiple enemies if they're all stacked. Like, it's really good, for example, for Eye of the Storm when everybody's all stacked. Dark Fury reduces the cooldown and increases its radius. Dark Chord reduces your cooldown of your main defensive Undying Resolve. Dark Pact is another defensive where you sacrifice some of your health to get a huge shield. So You'll lose a decent amount of health unless you have a talent and gain a pretty huge shield. It'll be a huge defensive. A frequent donor, which is it reduces its cooldown by 15 seconds. You can use that or Ichor of Devils, which only sacrifices 5% of your health instead. So it's either if you want a shorter cooldown but lose more of your health, or only sacrifice 5% of your health for a longer cooldown. Next one is Immolate damage increased by 20%. Demonic tactics spells have an increased chance to deal critical strike, and you also gain 10% more crit from all sources. Soul Link. Since we're using a Grimmer Sacrifice, which I'll go into on the right side later, your stamina will be increased. Bell Synergy. Soul Leech heals you for 15% of your pets, and your pet 50% absorption grants. Soul Conduit. Every shard you spend has a 5% chance to be refunded, so you'll have a chance of getting more soul shards. This one is actually one of my favorite talents, and it's a demonic hellstone. And unlike a normal hellstone, it basically can reset during combat. So before, if you didn't have this talent and use the hellstone, you would have to go out of combat to reset the cooldown. And if I use my Hellstone, it automatically resets the Hellstone in combat now, every minute. So it's pretty huge. So you can keep spamming Hellstones if you're stuck in combat like almost all the time. Very helpful, and I recommend this talent a lot. Soulburn is the last talent in this talent tree, and this is really useful. One increases your movement speed after you use Demonic Port. It makes you immune to snares and roots. One makes your Demonic Gateway instantly, which I use a lot. One gives you a Drain Life Absorb Shield when you use Drain Life. One uses a health funnel, and then the other one increases your healing of your Hellstone, as well as increasing your maximum health. The three you will most likely be using all the time is Demonic Ports, Demonic Gateway, and Demonic Hellstone. You'll mostly be using Demonic Hellstone the most, because that's how you get more healing from Hellstone, as well as increased health. So if you're low, pop your Soul Burn and then Hellstone. And if you're being attacked and you don't have your Gateway nearby and you absolutely need it, then you can just Soul Burn instantly Demonic. You pop your Demonic Gateway and then use it to get away if absolutely needed. So it is very, very, very useful. And then last but not least, you can use Soulburn Gateway, or not Soulburn Gateway, Soulburn Portal, and you'll have some fast speed for a few seconds, as well as being immune to slows and roots. And I sometimes use this as a getaway. It's like when I'm running a flag or something, I just use it for extra speed. Doesn't always help, but you know, it's extra speed and you'll be less immune to slows and all that fun stuff. So it does have its uses. Out of the three, it's the one I use the least, but it still helps out pretty often. So, and that's it for the left side of the talent tree. Now for the right side of the talent tree, we're here to get that. Get Rain of Fire. You get Backdraft, which reduces the cast time of your Incinerates or Chaos Bolts. I like to run Cataclysm, but some people prefer to run Pyrogenic, so you can go with either one here. I like to run Cataclysm because in Battlegrounds people are stacked more often, and compared to like something like Arena, it's easier to get cast off because you can just cast in the back when people are like all stacked. For example, it's really strong in Eye of the Storm because people are stacked in the middle all the time. But there's other places where people are stacked, and it's just a lot easier to get everybody stacked up with Immolate comparing to doing it one at a time. Havoc, this is going to be something you use Set Focus macro for. I'll link show you guys in a little bit what it is. Backlash, increase your crits. Physical attacks against you have a 25% chance to make your Incinerate instant, so it's a lot more instant cast if you got melee training you. Which will help out quite a bit. And with this build, you'll have a lot more instacast, which is nice. Roaring Blaze Increases the damage of most of your abilities. Most of them are instants, minus incinerate unless they get a proc. Backdraft increases the damage of your cast bolt again, so cast bolt will hit even harder. Rolling Havoc, every time you do duplicate spells on Havoc, so if you have a set focus macro and are, for example, attacking, like I put Havoc on this guy, for example, and then I attack this guy with all my instant spells, it'll increase all these stacks. Right now I have 5 stacks, increasing my damage by 5%, and doing that just is like a damage increase. It only goes up to 5 stacks, by the way. But if you get high stacks and do a cast bolt, it'll hit even harder. So, I mean, it also makes all your other abilities hit harder, but yeah. So, I'm sure you guys get the general idea. Scalding Flames increases the damage of Wither by 25% and its duration. Shatterburn is going to be kind of like a little mini execute, but also it does some pretty huge damage on its own. So, it's an instant cast, does pretty decent damage. That's all there's to it. Explosive Potential reduces the cooldown on Conflagrates. Grimmer Sacrifice, basically what this does is you summon any pet you want. It's mostly going to be Fellhunter. And then you sacrifice it, you automatically gain one of their abilities. And you can just use it for yourself. You don't have to worry about if a pet's nearby, you can just interrupt it by itself. The only downside is, unlike a pet, if you're CC'd, you obviously can't use the interrupt. But if you're not, and your pet's not CC'd, you can use it even while people CC'd you, and you can interrupt them without having to worry about that. So it's up to you, but I like Grimmer Sacrifice, and yeah, I recommend it. Gas Bolt damage, Shatterburn, Incinerate, deal 5% increased damage to target affected by your Wither. By the way, for those that don't know what Wither is, it's from the Hellcaller hero talent tree. But if you're not using Hellcaller, it would be Immolate, so just letting you guys know. Some people might be confused. Blistering Pro 3 increases the damage of your Shatterburn, and the critical strike chance of your Shatterburn increased by additional 50% when a target is below 30% health. Like I said, Shatterburn is kind of more so like an execute, so it'll hit a lot harder if somebody is below 30% health. And yeah. Conflict of Chaos. Shadowburn have a 50% chance to guarantee the ability, the casting ability's critical strike, and increases its damage by your critical strike chance. Ember Storm increases the damage of your fire spells and reduces the cast time of your Incinerate, so faster cast time, as well as increasing the damage of your spells. Summon Inferno is one of your burst abilities. When you use Inferno, you'll get tons of soul shards, so you can spam cast bolts a lot more. Flashpoint, when your Wither deals damage above 80% health, you'll gain 2% increased haste for 10 seconds, stacks up to 3 times. So when you're dotting everybody up, you'll get a lot of haste to get your cast off faster. Chaos Bolt and Shatterburn, when you use these, it increases the damage you deal to targets by 5% for 7 seconds. So for example, if you're spamming Chaos Bolts on somebody, you can just do Cast Bolt. They have increased damage taken, get another Cast Bolt out, and they'll take even more damage from that. Or you can even do, although I wouldn't really recommend it, you can do a Shadow Burn and do a Cast Bolt there, and they'll take a lot of damage that way on your first Cast Bolt as well. And yeah, that's pretty much how it works. Reign of Chaos, which your initial Inferno is active. Every soul shard has a chance to summon an additional Inferno for 8 seconds. Reverse Entropy, your spells have a chance to grant you 15% haste. This will help out quite a bit. Ritual of Ruin, every 15 soul shards spent grants a Ritual of Ruin, making your next cast bolt or Rain of Fire consume. No soul shards have a chance. Its cast time reduced by 50 seconds. Ruin increases your critical strike damage of your destruction spells by 5 seconds. Master Ritualist requires less than 5 soul shards spent. Power Overwhelming, this will make your mastery increase, which will give you even more damage. So every single time you spend some shards, for example, like I said, you'll be casting Chaos Bolt a lot. So for example, casting Chaos Bolts, this will increase my mastery by 2% already. And then, for example, I'm using Shadowburn as well, that's spending some shards, and I'm already at 3% mastery from 6 stacks, just like that. So it's pretty huge. Devastation increases your critical strike chance by 5%. Improved Chaos Bolts increases the damage by Chaos Bolt by 10%, and reduces its cast time. And Chaos Incarnate, Chaos Bolt, Rain, Fire, and Shadowburn always gain at least 70% of your maximum benefit from your mastery. And that is pretty much the talent tree for the left side and the right side. Now let's go over the hero talent tree. You can play Diabolist if you want, but my favorite go-to build is Hellcaller at the moment. I personally, while I enjoy the animations of Diabolist better, if you want to mess around for it for fun, for something like randoms, you can. But for something like Blitz or something, and even for randoms, I'd still say Hellcaller is more fun. But yeah, you can still play Diabolist if you want to. Now for Hellcaller, you just go for, since everything else is just you pick. For the choice picks, I go with Aura Enfeeblements, Bleak Heart Tactics, Seraphim's Resilience, and that's it. Everything else is just something you automatically get. Now for PvP talents, there's a bunch of different ones you can run. Right now, I have been running Gateway Mastery all the time. I feel like it's one of my favorite PvP talents right now, and I highly recommend it. What it does is it increases the range of your Demonic Gateway by a pretty decent amount. It's 20 yards, and reduces its cast time, but since I always use Soulburn Gateway, I don't really worry about the cast time anyways. And reduces the time between how often players can take the Demonic Gateway, so people can use the Gateway more often. So as you can see, let me remove this talent, for example. And then let's see if I can use the Gateway that far. Like, you can see it's a little, like, you can see the difference without using the honor talent. I mean, I guess it's not really that huge, but it's still pretty far in my opinion. So I've been really enjoying this talent, and you can pretty much use it way more often. So you can see how much of a difference it makes. Like, it was on that little edge, and using this okay. I was not expecting that. Try that again. There we go. So yeah, and you can use it to get all the way over here because it's a lot farther. Very nice. You can it's one of my favorite honor talents, and I highly recommend it. And like I said, you can use it a lot more often with this PvP talent. And then last but not least, I've been using Fell Fissure, which makes the target slow and reduces all healing targets take. I usually almost always use this one. I don't usually switch it out that much. And then the other ones you can use are Netherward, which if there's no casters, you can switch this out. Another one I would recommend is Shadow Rift. This one can be used in a number of situations. There are tons of games that I feel like I have won with Shadow Rift. Like, for example, on AV, if you're doing Epic Battlegrounds, you can teleport the people that are killing the boss out of the room, and it resets the boss. And I've won games that way. Battleground Blitz, Eye of the Storm, has the rocks covering the sides, and you can teleport healers down there, and they can't heal because of line of sight, and they're forced to go all the way around. And that gives you a chance to kill like a DPS if sometimes, which can help you out tremendously. Or even if a melee's on you, you can Shadow Rift them and get them off you that way too. I've seen some other people do this, and I've also done this like a few times. Not as much as I really should, but you can also do it that way. So Shadow Rift is also another ability you can use, and it's, like I said, very useful. Very useful. You can also use Call of the Observer, but I don't really enjoy it as much as Destro and I'd rather use Netherward or Shadow Rift over that, to be honest, but you can use it if you really want to. Impish Instincts can also be a decent one, but like I said, Shadow Rift and Netherward are, in my opinion, more better than those ones. And those are my PvP talents that I recommend. Up next is stats. So for stats, I run haste on pretty much everything, and if there is and if there's like no haste stuff, which there pretty much usually almost always is, then you can go mastery. I do have one haste ring and one mastery ring, but you can craft double haste rings if you really want to go that route. But yeah, I don't have a whole lot of mastery. I thought I had more than I did, but I guess I was wrong. I only have two mastery pieces, one on the chest and one on the ring, plus the enchant mastery on my ring, because I wanted some mastery. As for tier sets, I do have the 2 set. You want to go for the chest and the pants, because the pants has haste versatility, which are really good PvP stats, and chest has haste, which is a really good PvP stat, and mastery is decent as well. Now let's go over embellishments. So, my personal recommendation for embellishments is going to be the crafting the rings. So go to this NPC over here, go to this, and I would make, it's up to you if you want to craft double haste rings. Like I said, I have one haste ring, one mastery ring, but some people are going double haste rings. It's up to you. But as for embellishments, I would go for elemental focusing lens. Unfortunately, I was dumb when when the first week of the expansion started and I crafted a weapon. So at some point, I'll probably go a double ring for elemental focusing lens. So that would be my personal recommendation, and that's what I would go with for embellishments. Up next is enchants. I would go for the thread on your pants. For rings, you can go either double haste, or you can go like I did and go one haste, one mastery. For weapon enchant, you can go Authority of Radiant Power. I didn't get it on this tune. I went for Storm Rider's Fury, but I think Authority of Radiant Power is probably better, if I'm being honest. So you can go that route if you want to. For enchant, Crystalline Radiance, and then I don't have it on my bracelets yet, but you can go for Speed enchant on that, and then Defender's March for your boots. And then for rings, or not rings, sorry, for gems, you want to get Cognitive Bloodstone, and then you're going to try and juke people as best as you can. So you will be immune to interrupts and CC, and then you can get free fears or something, or cast whatever if you juke them. And then for gems, unfortunately I don't have the gems yet. I don't have any gems yet on this tune because I keep sending them to a bunch of different alts. But for gems, I would recommend either haste or mastery gems. If you want to go for more damage, you can go for mastery gems, or if you want easier time of haste. But since you get so much haste from a bunch of talents anyways, you could probably go for mastery and be fine for more damage. And then that is my advice for gems, enchants, and embellishments. Now for macros, I don't have a whole lot of macros. I do have a set focus macro for spell lock. For example, like your Fell Hunter people. And then the main one is Havoc. So what this does is you put this guy on set focus. I'm targeting the other guy. I push my Havoc macro, which I've already shown several times, and then you just DPS your main target, and boom, that is just focus your main target until Havoc's down, and yeah, then the next time Havoc's up, if your set focus target's dead or gone far away, just target somebody else who's nearby, and then put the Havoc on them, and so on and so forth. So, and that's pretty much the macros. Alright, now for rotation, what I like to do is, like I said, I will put set focus on whoever's nearby, and then I will target whoever I'm targeting, whether it be a DPS or a healer. And then I will summon my Inferno. I will, if everybody's stacked, I will pop Cataclysm. They're all stacked. I will pop my Malevolence once everybody's dotted up with my Immolates, and then I will spam Chaos Bolts. And then I will use Conflagrates to get a faster Chaos Bolt, more Chaos Bolt, more Chaos Bolt, Shadow Burn, because they're probably low by that point. And then if they're not, Conflagrates, Chaos Bolts, Chaos Bolts. And then, like I said, for the most part, most people will probably be dead by the time you're doing like all this. And yeah, then you'll just switch to the next target and keep repeating. So, and that's pretty much your entire rotation. It's just make sure you keep Immolates up, and make sure you use Malevolence with as many people that has Wither as possible, because it increases their stacks by a certain amount, and they'll take a lot of damage that way from AoE. So, and then outside of that, make sure you just use Conflagrate to make your Chaos Bolts cast faster, and then just spam them. That's pretty much the rotation. And then use Shadow Burns as insta cast if people are on you and you need to use it, or if they're low. It's pretty simple rotation. So one more time, I'll put Havoc on this guy for example. Put Wither on the first guy. Conflagrates, Chaos Bolts, Shadow Burn, Chaos Bolts, Incinerates if I need to, Conflagrates, Chaos Bolt again. Odds are he's probably low. Shadow Burn. Oh wait, I don't have any shield shards. Shadow Burn, and boom. Yeah, that's pretty much the rotation. It's very simple. And then obviously, if you're getting beat up or need to use it, you can Demonic Ports, or you can Soul Burn, Gateway, get away when needed, and continue to kite. That's pretty much it for this guide. Let me know if you guys enjoyed this video, and hopefully it helps you guys out. I tried to go everything as best as I could, and hopefully this helps you guys out. And yeah, that's it. See you guys later.